And we're live on Lightning 100 and volume.com/Lightning100. We got the cameras in here because we're bringing in SYML. Brian Fennell's here. SYML, how you doing today?
Man, I am good.
All right. Hey, I love that. That's great. I know you must be pretty excited because I think you've waited a long time to get to release your new album, and we're getting close. We're not quite there yet, though.
Indeed, just weeks away. February 3rd is when it's coming.
All right. Yeah. Been playing the new single, Believer. It sounds terrific. And Friday, February 3rd, the new record is coming out. The day my father died. Definitely a personal record for you. And your hometown, you recorded this in your hometown of Seattle?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to chat with you about making this record. We're going to get to hear some songs today, and we'll talk about this record and what SYML has been up to, maybe what he's even been up to here in Nashville. Yeah. Let's go ahead and have you play a song. What do you want to start with today?
Since it just came out recently, I would love to play Believer.
All right, and maybe just share a little bit about writing this song as you cue it up.
Yeah,
here.
we did a lot of this record in an old church that got converted to a studio in Seattle, and I imagine there's probably amazing converted church studios all over this town, but it's sort of a rarity in Seattle. So did the record with Phil Eck, also from Seattle, responsible for a lot of great records, and it was just wild to be recording amidst all these pews and a song that's called Believer, right? Like it's not so much about our relationship to some sort of God. It's more our relationship to the people we love and sort of, worshiping them in a way, that we get to be in a relationship with them. So that's kind of the gist of the song.
Awesome. Well, this is SYML and Believer live on Lightning 100. You can also watch it, volume.com/Lightning100.
Change one thing. Touch me like a lover. Speak to me like a friend. Teach me like my father taught me how to live again. To me, a believer in a choir, you're that hallelujah sweetness on my lips. So touch me like a lover, touch me, touch me, touch me like a lover, touch me, touch me, touch me like a lover, touch me, touch me. Touch me like a lover, touch me, touch me. All my life, I've been chasing shiny things. choir. You're that hallelujah sweetness on my lips. Touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Ooh, touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Ooh, touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me. Touch me like a lover. Touch me, touch me, touch me.
Lightning 100 live here in the Volume.com studio. We're live on Volume.com/Lightning100 and here on 100.1 FM in Nashville, Tennessee with SYML. His name is Brian Fennell. The project, or his stage name, is SYML. And that is Believer. It's going to be on the new record coming out Friday, February 3rd. Getting very close to this record.
Yes, indeed.
And is there 15 songs on this album?
Yeah, man, it's like the olden days. It's
Going
like
old
it's like when
school.
you like spend $18 at Tower. That's the 15 songs you were promised.
I love it. You know, that's great. It's, you know, if you're gonna put out a record, give us a record.
Yeah, give the meat, man. Yeah.
So you mentioned you got to work with Phil Eck.
Yeah.
In your hometown of Seattle, who's worked with Fleet Foxes and the Shins, and you know, been part of some really great records. Was it your first time working with him? And now he's someone you call a friend?
Yeah, he was at my birthday a couple days ago.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. He is a special guy. He came up, like, he ditched the Art Institute when he was young to go work with Jack and Dino with Nirvana. I mean, like, this dude was just in the room really early, and it shaped how he made records. Like, it was a wild time working together because he really has he understands, like, classically how to make a record, but he also knows that it's rock and roll and it's like there's no rules. So it's really I traditionally work alone, so it was a really, really great growing experience working with him in some really iconic spaces in Seattle.
I think you've put out maybe 6 songs so far, and are maybe going to drop another one on Friday.
Yeah.
And I don't know if every single one, but a lot of the songs you put out so far are with collaborations.
Yeah, man.
Now, were this, you know, I know this day and age, you can have Lucius sing on a track. It doesn't necessarily mean that you hung out in the studio together.
Yeah.
Was there anything more than them just singing along to it?
We hung out actually after they sang on it. So yeah, it was, you know, the whole record was done sort of started pandemic mid, you know, in the heaviest parts, and then kind of really blossomed, and I met these people actually like post-pandemic. So they got to come up to Seattle and we recorded a live version in a different church. And yeah, but we've been in the same sort of circles for a minute.
It was Guy Garvey of Elbows, Sarah Watkins from I'm With Her, and of course Nickel Creek, Charlotte Lawrence. So did you have a list, or was someone like saying, "Hey, I could connect you with Charlotte Lawrence"?
Yeah, right. No, it was some of it was like I had a wish list and we reached out, and then some of it was like just natural, you know, DMs. Basically, that's how I met Charlotte, and she's a real sweetheart. Guy was more like, I've been a lifelong Elbow fan, so that was like cold call, man. And his manager was like, I don't know why, but I'm just gonna send it to him and see what he thinks. And because we met after at a festival in Europe, and he was a sweetheart to me, and we had a beer, which was like basically my dream from being like a long fan. And he just connected with it, took it, wrote his own verse. I mean, it was really like a dream scenario.
You know, it's interesting. I don't think that opportunity used to really exist. And then when MySpace came along, it was the first time that artists could actually, you know, message other artists and be like, hey, I just want you to know I'm a big fan. And like sometimes, you know, beautiful things happen because of that.
Totally. I mean, it's wild when I'm getting more used to it, I think, like in terms of people I really look up to being like, yeah, man, I have time for you. Like, I think the assumption is that, you know, you don't belong maybe because they're so great, and that is constantly getting shattered for me. So
I think one time I saw a post or something. It was like T-Pain was getting all these like requests. People were sending him all these messages, and it was in some request folder. He wasn't looking, and it was like all these massive superstars wanted to do stuff with him.
That's awesome.
He was ghosting him for years. We have SYML here in the Volume.com studio. The new record is coming Friday, February 3rd. We just got to hear Believer from that album. Do you want to play another song, maybe one of the other songs that you've already put out?
Yeah, this one came out a couple months back. This is the one that Charlotte sings on, and it's just a real simple song. When we first met, I was like still really young in the process of the record, and played her a few songs to see what she connected with, and this is the one that we both sort of had on our minds for the other. So it was a cool pairing.
This is SYML live on Lightning 100.
I wanna feel something. I wanna feel something. I drink to feel something. I sleep and feel nothing. Maybe that's where you come in. Maybe that's where you and I begin. I want some good loving. I want some good loving. Want it to mean something. Set this old heart buzzing. Maybe that's where you come in. Maybe that's where you and I begin. No, I don't need a heavenly home, a place beyond the clouds with everyone we've ever known. It don't matter where we go. If you were born to run, I was made to run with you. I was made for you. I need some church, darling. I need some church, darling. I am a false prophet, I must confess, darling. Well, maybe that's where you come in. Maybe that's where you and I begin. Our love's a great mountain. Our love's a great mountain. Climbed up and fell down it. We lived a life about it. Well, baby, you and I survived. Maybe God thanks you that I'm alive. No, I don't need a heavenly home, a place beyond the clouds with everyone we've ever known. It don't matter where we go. If you were born to run, I was made to run with you. I was made for you. I was made for you. I wanna feel something. I want some good loving. Take me to church, darling. Our love's a great mountain. Oh, baby, after all this time, maybe home is you and I've arrived.
Lightning 100, that is SYML here. We're live on volume.com/lightning100 and here in Nashville, 100.1 FM. SYML doing another song, You and I, on the record. It features Charlotte Lawrence. It's going to be on The Day My Father Died, which is coming out Friday, February 3rd, recorded in his hometown of Seattle. He's here in Nashville. So you did not like a typical show last night, and you've got another one of these coming up in New York. What was it, and how'd it go?
It was great. I was talking to people last night. It's basically these small, intimate gatherings. We're calling them gatherings that I get to play some songs on the new record, and really just one of my favorite parts about my live show is like a Q&A session. I saw somebody do it years ago, and it was just the most like surprising, like pleasant thing. And without fail, it is my favorite part of the show. So these sort of fit into that format where like people can ask questions about the new music or the record or, you know, a favorite song from years ago or whatever. But yeah, people were driving from all over for this thing. It was really, really cool to be in that space. And yeah, tomorrow night we'll be in New York and do it all over again.
And then heading to Europe and the UK.
Yeah,
I bet you're excited about that.
I've been able to spend a lot of time over there the last couple of years, and you know, before the pandemic too, and yeah, didn't get to do that for so many years in my old band, and so it's like it's still novel to me every time I get to go.
Yeah, and you're working, and you're in Europe. So
yeah, that's my wife needs to know. I am working constantly.
Sounds like a win-win. When I pulled you up on Instagram, I saw we had some friends in common, and one of them I think of as one of Nashville's great songwriters, Trent Dabbs.
I
was wondering,
Trent. Yeah,
okay.
Man.
So have you written with Trent? A little bit?
So when I was last in Nashville, it was right before the pandemic. I was opening for this dude Dermot Kennedy. We played the Ryman. Blew my mind. Next day, I met Trent that night. He came out to the show, and we have a bunch of mutual friends. And so the next day we worked together, and he had been going through some stuff. I'd been going through some stuff, and we wrote this song that actually ended up on the record. It's not going to be out before the record comes out. But yeah, man, what a talented dude.
Yeah, we're lucky to be here in Nashville, Tennessee, which I feel like there's a similar thing between Nashville and Seattle. I mean, we're certainly unique to ourselves, but we're a place where there's a lot of great bands that call it home.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I sometimes wonder about we have similar trajectories. Of course, you guys kind of kick things off a little bit ahead of us. I mean, we were the country music thing. There's a whole lot more than country here happening these days. Do you think of them similarly?
I do, man. I bet, you know, for kids that grow up here and, you know, for me growing up in Seattle, there were things that you were, you know, that you came after, right? Like grunge was happening when I was still pretty young. But it set the stage, whether it was with radio stations or record shops or whatever, that were really pivotal in that time. I still was able to ride that wave of like being a fan and listener and discovering music, and also coming up and deciding that I would also be in a band. So, you know, but that also overflows into schools, like music programs, the arts. Like I would not be here, you know, if it hadn't been for those mentors and those programs, right? So a lot of special things between these two towns. I'm sure there are similarities in terms of cost of living that like makes it really hard for artists to continue to live here and try to do the work and live and all that stuff, man. So there's got to be some crazy parallels.
And I believe you've made it to at least one of our record stores since you've been here.
Yeah, man.
In this trip here in Nashville.
Yeah, third man.
And so did you record a song in his booth?
I did the booth.
And so what did you record?
So I did the first side A was You and I, the song I just played, and then side B was a newer song called Tragic Magic that's not out yet. But it was wild, man. Like I recommend everybody to go do it if you haven't done it, because it feels like something straight out of a museum, and the technology is essentially exactly the same. And the way it sounds is exactly how you think it sounds. It's really cool.
Yeah, we did it with my youngest daughter, and now you've got this moment just captured in time.
Yeah, I mean that's what's so beautiful about it, is that it was a novelty back then in the 40s, and still continues to be novel even though we have all this different technology now. Like it's still such a cool time capsule.
Yeah, something about it. Chariot is going to be what you're putting out on Friday, which I saw you had the little tease, and it has a good beat. I was like, okay,
man,
I like that beat. So.
Yeah, no sad stuff anymore, no down tempo. We got to kick it up a little bit. That song's crazy. That was basically a drum loop that we built, because I'd rewritten that song like 3 different times, and that's the drummer just pounding on church pews and a snare drum, and we built this sampled, you know, beat out of it. Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited to hear the entire album, all 15 songs. That'll be coming Friday, February 3rd. You can pre-order it, SYMLmusic.com. SYMLmusic.com. Do you want to do one more song while you're here?
Let's get it, man. The reason I'm still able to make music is because certain songs connect, and I'll do one of those songs. But thank you for having me, man.
Anytime, for sure. It's great.
I'll
Appreciate
be back.
you.
All right.
Cold bones, yeah, that's my love. She hides away like a ghost. Ooh, does she know that we bleed the same? Ooh, don't wanna cry, but I break that way. Cold sheets. Oh, where's my love? I am searching high, I'm searching low in the night. Ooh, does she know that we bleed the same? Ooh, don't wanna cry, but I break that way. Did she run away? Did she run away? I don't know. But if she ran away, come back home. Ooh, just come home. Oh. I got a fear, oh, in my blood. She was carried up into the clouds, high above. Ooh, if you bled, I'll bleed the same. Ooh, if you're scared, I'm on my way. Did you run away? Did you run away? I don't need to know. But if you ran away, come back home. Just come home.
Lightning 100 SYML live in the volume.com studio. That was awesome, man. I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, man.
I don't think that we had you here in the studio when that one was brand new.
Yeah, it's got me. Well, it's long overdue then.
All right. Well, grateful to have you here today. SYMLmusic.com. Still got some time to go ahead and pre-order the new record, and I think you're going to put it out on double vinyl.
Yeah, it's a big, cool, thick packaging, and the art, tells the story just like the record does. So.
Yeah, the art is really cool.
Thank you.
It's pretty unique.
Yeah, I found this artist, and so again, going back to you just reach out to people now if you're curious about working with them, and Alex Alvarez is his name, and talented dude.
Awesome. Well, great to have SYML here in the volume.com studio. Coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to have The Sacred Souls here at Lightning 100.